What's up, everybody? This is Henry Fleischer here from the Cannabis Dispatch, also the CBD Business Networking Group, and I have a very special guest today. I have JR Breeden of Overgrown Farms. So, JR, tell us a little bit about what Overgrown Farms is about.
Hey, how's it going, Henry? Overgrown Farms, we're a new company. We are, small scale right now. We just do craft style breeding, small scale. I've been breeding for about 6 years. We have probably about 17 different strains on our menu right now. It's me and my cousin, Jess Dank. We started it last year. What we're trying to do is we're trying to go rec in Arizona. That's our main goal right now. So the breeding is kind of like our vehicle to get us into the rec market.
Oh, God. Oh, so you want to get into THC, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you guys currently do grow CBD as well too?
I have CBD strains and I have THC strains as well. Yes.
Oh, awesome. Okay, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
But what was it that got you into starting the farm?
So I've been medical for about 10 years now. I've been growing 10 years, consecutively. My first project was Hootenanny Farms. We started a medical dispensary with that called MASH. It was Medical Alternative Safe Haven in Lexington, Washington.
Yep.
And it's all about medicine. It's all about, the benefits of, not just CBD, but THC as well. They kind of go hand in hand together,
Oh, of course.
But yeah. As far as the CBD aspect, the strains that I offer are more of a full spec THC CBD. I do have one strain that it's a higher CBD content. It's called Hank.
Yep.
It's a cannatonic crossed with Hercule, and it's a really good strain. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't have it on the menu right now. I'm about to do a CBD run probably within the next 6 months. So I'm gonna work some CBD strains. Mm-hmm. So one of them I have is called is it High Five? No, Hang 10. That's what it is. It's through a company called I can't even remember the name.
It happens.
Yeah.
But another thing too is if somebody were to buy your products, you just sell it by the flower. What forms is it that you sell?
Right now we just offer in seed form. Everything's in seed
form. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. It's your genetics.
Yep, we're genetics. Yep, I am a breeder. So everything that we offer, we don't sell, oils or nothing like that. We're just strictly seeds.
And what about the whole process too? How are the seeds made? How do you end up multiplying the seeds? What is it?
So it's generations of selective breeding goes into it. It's a lot of work breeding. You find something that you like, that you want to work with, and basically you just pick traits that you want to carry on.
Mm-hmm.
With the CBD, CBD strains because they're not sticky like a THC strain. They're more greasy. Mm-hmm. You can work with it. THC is like real. It's it's like glue. But yeah, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work that goes into breeding. It's a long process. Like I said, generations and generations of selected breeding. You pop seeds, not just you got to stress test them. You got to, you pick the best ones, the strongest strains to carry on the genetics.
And have you ever had to deal with male plants or male seeds? How have you overcome that?
So that's how you breed. You have to have a male and a male and a female. There's no such thing as male seeds. there's regular seeds and
Oh
then
yeah.
there's feminized seeds. You know, you with feminized seeds, you're kind of you're messing with the hormones of the plants to make them, you know, create female pollen on a female plant,
Yep.
and then you pollinate another female, and those make feminized seeds.
Oh, because you know what it is? Because like usually for people producing large amounts of CBD or THC, like if for like to sell like the flower, they get all concerned about having the male plants in there because they're like, oh, we see a male plant, we gotta destroy it. It doesn't, there's no use for it. So interesting on your side how it's like, hey, we need the males to
Yeah.
produce the seeds.
Well, yeah, the male's the most important part of my job. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that stud. I'm looking for that main male that I want to carry on, you know, the next generation.
oh yeah, cool. Oh yeah. Any production process, you need a male and female.
Yeah. Well, and then you know, there's a lot of inbreeding that goes into it too. You know, so you start with your parent line, your P1 generation, and then you make your F1 generation, and then you start inbreeding. You know what I mean? You're crossing, you know, plants that look similar, that carry on this, you know, that look the same, so you carry on those same traits, you know.
Yep.
It's a process. There's
I'm sure
a lot that goes into
it. I'm sure there's a lot of trial and error on your end too with like.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's exactly what it is. It's, you know, you're always nothing that you start with is going to be stable. So you have to work the genetics. You have to work the line, you know, 1, 2, 3 pollinations. You're still going to see, you know, variation. And once you get into like 4, 5, 6 generations of inbreeding, then you start to see, you know, consistency. You pop 10 seeds, you'll get all the same plants.
Oh, you know? Yeah. And another thing too, like, can you crossbreed CBD plants and THC plants?
Yeah, that's what I do. Awesome. So like one of the strains that I work is a Jamaican haze CBD.
Yeah.
And it's a hemp strain. You know, it has 0.2% THC and it tests at like 18 to 19% CBD. So I take a strain like that and I cross it with one of my THC strains, and I make a more full spectrum strain for for medical patients. You know what I mean? So they can get the full benefits of both THC and CBD together.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome though too. You're like best of both worlds.
Exactly. Yeah.
In going back to the business side of things, what's the toughest thing you went through when you first opened up?
Right now, it's just getting yourself out there, you know, getting recognized, getting your strains out there, getting people to grow your strains. That's tough right now because there's a lot of breeders, you know. There's a lot of different strains out right now. You just have to, you know, we're trying to figure out a way to make ourselves kind of stand out, and that's kind of what we do. We kind of, you know, mix the CBD and THC in some of our strains, so we bring in those medical patients and stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're after.
Oh yeah. How do you differentiate yourself though from the other breeders?
Well, by our genetics, you know, it seems like everybody's offering the same kind of strains these days. You know, everybody wants the dessert strains, the gelatos, you know, and then so I just kind of, I don't follow the mainstream. I don't, you know, I might have a couple strains that are kind of like the mainstream, but I do my own thing, you know?
Oh, so you just want to have like those strains have like a strong following, might not be like a mass number of people, but like the followings really, really die hard.
Right. Yeah.
That's what you're looking for?
Yes.
Oh, cool. And another thing I got for you as well, like based because you have a lot of experience growing and in this business. So if you had to start over from day one, knowing everything you know now, what would you do differently?
Oh man, I'd get a rec license right away. That was one of the mistakes that I made. we we didn't we didn't think that it was going to go the way it did in Washington. They kind of they made it so that there's only a certain amount of licenses, so everybody ate up those licenses, and then um, now to buy a license, it's going to cost you $500,000 just to get one.
Oh man, that's absurd. 500K for license? Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, like people are just sitting on them. There's 100 licenses that aren't even being used, and
Wait, what?
to get into one of those, people are like, "Oh yeah,
There should be a system. They got to sell. If they're not using it, sell the license back.
exactly. There should be if you haven't used your license in so long, then
Yeah.
it should go back into the pool so somebody else can get a chance
Oh
to
yeah,
use it.
it should
They
should have like a time cap on that saying, hey,
exactly.
if you haven't grown something in like a year or 6 months, and you're not setting up an operation, you got to give up. Yeah, forfeit your license.
Exactly.
I don't know what they paid for if they're going to get their things back, but yeah, they should carry that.
Well, the licenses are only $1,500, I think, and then $1,000 a month or $1,000 a year to keep it current.
Oh yeah.
So they're paying next to nothing, but they're I live about a mile from about 5 places that make about $1 million a month selling cannabis.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's nothing to them.
No, nothing. It's nothing.
Oh wow.
So
what would you say right now is the toughest part about having a business in 2021?
Man, the COVID restrictions have been really rough, just not being able to, events and, networking. And that's a big part of this industry is those events,
Yeah.
The CannaCon and Indo Expo and, walking around and meeting people and making connections. Everything's done on like this Zoom. So yeah. It's harder to do.
In a weird way, though, it's like I feel like it's easier to connect with people too virtually because now it's like you don't have to go in person. Hey, we can do it on Zoom. Like in the past, before technology, it was like hey, you had to be in person or you're not meeting them.
Right.
So that's like one blessing, definitely. I mean, there is a different element with in-person events, but yeah.
Well, one of my main things that I like doing every year was I like going to Hemp Fest because I live right by Seattle. I live 2 hours or 3 hours from Seattle, so drive up to Seattle, go to Hemp Fest for the weekend, and meet a couple hundred people. And that was awesome. Buy some seeds and have fun. And now we can't do that. Well, hopefully this year we can. But
I know like festivals and everything are starting to open up. You see it in like the fall, they're having concerts again, and even sports leagues, they're saying, hey, you can go at 100% capacity.
Yep. I've been excited. I'm a baseball fan, so I want to go to a baseball game really bad. It's been a few years.
Oh yeah, it's been a while too.
Yeah.
And if a customer was to choose between your business and 3 others just like yours, why'd you suggest they give you a try first?
Man, that's a tough one. I don't know. I never thought about that before. I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
We're we're all about quality. You know what I mean? Everything that we do, if I don't like the result of something, I won't market it. You know what I mean? So you can always guarantee that you're going to have, fresh seeds. Everything's going to be quality. I don't cut corners. I don't, I guarantee my product. Customer service is a big thing for me. I'm always there if somebody needs to ask questions or, they're having trouble with the strain or whatever, or, their seeds didn't pop. I've always replaced seeds, if anybody had any issues. So yeah, I take pride in my work and I guarantee it. So that's why somebody should choose me.
What's the number one way you currently bring in new customers?
Right now, it's networking through social media because of the pandemic and everything. Everything's done through Facebook, Instagram. I'm starting to get on Twitter. We have a podcast that we do on YouTube now that we started. We're still working into it, but yeah, it's basically that's and the website, you know.
Hmm.
So
Oh, cool. And yep. So yeah, what I guess like I kind of you kind of answered my next question. So I was going to ask you like, what role has the internet played in your business becoming more prevalent?
so the website's really new. I think it's been up for less than 2 months, but we have a 100% rating on um, GoDaddy as far as like how people come to our website.
Hmm.
They look at 100% rating means that they're going on our website, they're looking at everything, they're they're reading everything, they're checking out all the different pages. um, they're not necessarily buying, but they're looking, so that's good.
Oh,
We got a
cool.
lot of traffic on our website, and it's still really new. I'm still working on it, but yeah.
Oh, cool. And if you had to take a look 6 months to a year into the future, where would you like to see your business?
Ooh. On the recreational market, I want to start getting my genetics in the hands of not only other growers, but I want to see my flowers, and I want to start growing them out for people.
Oh, yeah. And another thing too, like have you explored the industrial hemp side as well too?
I have a little bit, yeah. I have some friends that are in industrial hemp, and they make good money.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
there
they
any
make really good
difference
money.
in the breeding techniques for like recreational CBD and industrial hemp?
It's like, as far as I know, it's more on a larger scale.
Oh
When you're
yeah.
breeding industrial, everything's on a larger scale. You're pollinating, acres, and not only are you using those seeds for genetics, you're also using those seeds for other things as well in the
Because like
industrial
that,
side.
like with the whole cannabis industry, I'm really intrigued by like the industrial side of things too. Of
Yeah,
what one can do, like it's like you can make it fuel, clothes,
right. So much stuff. Medicine, like not only medicines, but like plastics and you know what's that? The cement.
yeah, oh, insulation.
Yeah, insulation.
Oh, hemp wood. I wonder if it's like if they can make lumber into from hemp wood.
Yeah, they've been making flooring, I guess, out of hemp and stuff.
Yeah, but like the foundations of houses, how like I guess with carpenters they got to get the big wood beams. If they have that with hemp, you can build a house from that. I wonder.
Well, have you seen those hempcrete houses?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, it takes 60 years for the house to completely set up, and once it does, the house lasts for 500 years.
Yeah. Wait, it takes 60 years to set up the house.
That's what it. That's what it says. It said once the house is set up,
Yeah.
like once it's done, you can move in, but it takes 60 years for the house to completely acclimate,
Oh, yeah.
and then once it does, it lasts 500 years or something.
That's absurd.
So yeah.
And it's
So
more bug resistant too. The
yes,
hempcrete.
very well. Yeah, no termites.
Yeah.
There's no wood to eat. That's all.
Because like
So,
because that's why some people are going for like you can make houses from shipping containers. I thought like that was really interesting. Some of them look really nice. So
yeah,
I think those
they
are like
do.
more bug resistant. But yeah, it's metal though.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty awesome ones. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, oh, I want to move into here. Like, it's kind of
totally.
crazy how creative somebody can be.
Right, totally.
Yeah, but yeah, where else do you think the industry is headed as well too on the recreational side? Where do you see that in a
Man,
few years?
hopefully federally legal to where, you know, you're not stuck to one state. You know what I mean? You can branch out to different states. You can, you can have a business in Oregon and Washington and then on the East Coast as well. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of companies are doing that. There's a lot of I don't know how you call it, franchises or what, whatever. But that's basically where it's going, is it's going to franchises. Everything's going to be big business.
But I think it could be similar to like the alcohol industry, like with beer. Like you can sell beer everywhere, but like depending on what state you go to, you have to like have a distributor.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I see that happening.
That would be cool. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think when do you expect it to be fully legal too, federally?
I don't know. Hopefully within the next 10 years. Like, I mean, we're already halfway there. Over half of the states are medical or recreational or both. So yeah, it's going there.
I think sooner rather than later. I think
so?
now they're seeing, hey, like there's a lot of opportunities to be made from being like making it legal rather than illegal. I think they wasted more money by making it illegal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just like it's always like, oh, what if they had this fully legal for however many years it was? Who knows where this country would be?
Exactly. I mean, it brings in money. Look at how much money Colorado and California and Oregon and Washington just alone are making.
It's like the West Coast was like the first. They were like really early in on that. They were like, hey,
yeah.
They think the South is more like, hey, like South is more conservative, so they're like, hey, we're not sure yet. I know Virginia just legalized it, but Texas is still like in the air. Same with Florida.
Yeah. It's getting a little more lenient there in Florida. I've noticed they changed the medical laws a little bit more as far as THC. They were having issues with that.
Yeah, no, Oklahoma has a rising like medical.
Yes, Oklahoma is booming. Everybody's in Oklahoma right now.
Yeah, like that's why I'm surprised Texas hasn't carried on. They neighbors to Oklahoma.
Right.
Should tell them.
Right.
Texas is a much bigger state.
Mm-hmm.
We have most of the East Coast is like the Northeast is legal, like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, I think just did. Most of the New England states as well too. So like Pennsylvania should be next. Yep. We got like Delaware, Maryland.
Mm-hmm. We're actually planning to go to the Harvest Cup in New England in November. We're going to be competing.
Oh, nice. Where in New England is it?
It's I can't remember exactly. It's
Vermont, Massachusetts.
It's in Massachusetts. It's in I can't remember the name of the city. Hold on a second.
Boston?
No, it's not in Boston. It's in Worcester.
Oh, Worcester. That's how it's pronounced. I know. I thought it was Worcester. Yeah, it's Worcester. Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester. Okay.
Worcester. Yeah. I know it should be spelled. It should be WOOSTER.
Right.
Oh, that's like right outside Boston.
Okay.
I know it's like the Northeast is nice during the fall time. You have all the foliage and everything. Sure, you get that in the Northwest too, though. But
oh man, it's beautiful up here in that time. Yeah, it's November 13th and 14th is when Harvest Cup is.
Yeah, I wonder. Hopefully, maybe it should. I don't think it should be too cold then either.
No, hopefully not.
So that's all. So that's great to hear too. So yeah, trying to think what other questions I got for you too. Oh, so I was gonna ask you too. What advice would you give to somebody thinking on entering the cannabis space?
Entering the what?
cannabis space, like saying, hey, they want to get involved in the cannabis space. What would recommendations would you give or advice?
Um, find an investor. Get yourself a good investor, solid foundation. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't start out with an investor, you know, get a website, um, and do social media. Social media is big in the industry. As far as like Facebook, there's tons of groups where people are constantly networking, like yours, and there's tons of THC groups and CBD groups and seed groups, and you know, there's just yeah, there's lots of different avenues, but just make a solid product, offer a solid product for your customers.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. And
Oh,
don't cut corners.
okay. That's some great advice there. And how can somebody contact you or get a hold of you?
um my website is overgrownfarms420.com, overgrownfarms at gmail.com. Our group at Overgrown Farms is our Facebook. Over_grown farms is our Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, sounds good. So yeah, it was great having you on. You're more than welcome to be back on for future interviews. So maybe by that time, when you're participating in the COP, that could be a good time right there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.